Ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna try to be even more lazy while watching Netflix than ever before. So if you have watched my last video on Netflix recognition, you should have a pretty good idea what we're gonna do today. But if you didn't, I suggest you check it out somewhere around there. And for today, well, we're gonna have 3 different videos regarding 3 different parts of the script, namely speech recognition, pynput, and argparse. So speech recognition does, well, the speech recognition, the pynput part sends keys and mouse clicks to the active window, and then argparse just makes it easier to run as a script from shell. So yeah, let's get into the GitHub and start with the video. So this is the Netflix recognition GitHub page, and today we're gonna talk about speech recognition, as I said before. Just a couple of things before jumping into it. So the usage of the script is quite simple. You just run it and you can pass a couple of arguments if you want to. They are not required. But the argument I want to talk about today is the threshold. And what it does, it sets the sensitivity of your microphone. The higher the number is, the lower the sensitivity of the microphone, meaning if the default value is 4000, and by speaking at this volume I can actually control the script. But if I would set the sensitivity to 9000, I should be shouting at my microphone for it to actually work. Now, depending on the environment, you would want to change the sensitivity. This is why I added that argument here. And the thing is, I'm living in an apartment building and it's not noisy. Most of the time it's quite calm, but when I go to my parents' house, which is a separate house, I can set the sensitivity to a much lower value. And if your environment isn't really stable in the noise department, what you could do is actually go to speech recognition documentation, which can be found in their GitHub page, and set your energy threshold as dynamic, which would then adjust the microphone sensitivity based on the ambient noise levels while listening. So this is quite useful because what we are using now is the simple energy threshold, and what you would then set is for actively listen to the noise of the room, and then based on that regulate that energy threshold as the script is listening for your command. Another thing that you want to maybe look into it as well is the phrase limit. So you can set the phrase time limit to limit it in seconds. For how long should the recognizer listen to your phrase when you start speaking? In the script it's set to 5 seconds. If you feel that you can't really say the keyword in 5 seconds, or you're using long phrases or sentences like "I would like to play now," would you be so kind to stop now, or go forwards or backwards, then you can change it a bit. Why would you want to set the time limit for the phrase? Well, just to control the size of the phrase that you're sending to the Google API. And by setting the lower limit for your phrase, what you're effectively doing is just speeding up things with the whole script. Because script has some lag when reacting to your voice. Let's say you say a phrase play, it takes about 2 seconds to actually play the thing, because it needs to hear the phrase, then send that to the API, check the response, then catch the keyword, then send the keystrokes using pynput to the active window of Netflix. So yeah, sometimes it takes around 2 seconds, and that phrase time limit, what it does is just speeds up things if you set it to a lower value, in which you can say the needed keyword for it to actually work. Other than that, there's quite a lot of options with speech recognition package itself, a great useful package to use. But for this instance, those two main things are something to think about. So the phrase time limit and the threshold of your voice. And having said that, we can now switch to the actual script itself, see what it's about. It's gonna be a short video because there's not really much in there, and you will see how easy it is to build it yourself. So let's switch to that. So this is the main script, and we can see here that we import three packages, namely argparse, speech recognition, and pynput. For pynput, we only import the keyboard part because, well, we're gonna use just the keyboard. And then as for the speech recognition itself, we only use it here in these 8 lines. So yeah, it's that simple. All we need to do is initiate the recognizer instance. We set that by sr.recognizer, sr being the speech recognition package. Then we set the energy threshold here. As you can see, we use args from argparse. That's just because each environment can be different. As I said, I use 4000 for my environment, but in different places I might set it up to even 9000 or whatever. Now for the times variable, it doesn't really concern the speech recognition part of this video, so we can skip that for now. And then we just initiate our microphone as source. We listen to that source, we set the phrase time limit to 5 seconds, meaning when I start talking, the recognizer will start recording the audio and end that at 5-second mark, and then send it to the API. I just use this because it works faster with the API for me, but as I said, it depends a bit from the environment that you're in, the tone of your speech, so yeah, adjust accordingly. And then, well, we send our audio file to the Google API for it to recognize the speech in it, and we get back a string, which we name here user, and then we check if we have any keywords in the string, such as play, stop, volume up or down. Well, I guess you get the gist of it. And yeah, when we send the function to the active screen to either stop the video or increase the volume and so forth. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna test it. So if I run it, it should start listening to me. I had to change my microphone just because my other one died, so I'm using a bit crappier one now, but I hope it will work just as good. So you can see it already recognizes my speech, and it prints the text here in the terminal. Now, one thing to mention is the functions that you will be sending to your active window won't be immediate, just because it needs to listen to what you say, then send that to Google, and get back the string, and then check for the keywords in the string. So you will most definitely have about a second or 2 seconds lag on it. So let's switch to the Netflix window. I'll leave it here, the terminal here, just because we can see what it gets from my speech. If I leave this window active and say play, it plays the video. Now it should record my keyword again, and then stop the video. As you can see, the video was stopped. And yeah, that's the basic idea how it works. There's not really that much to it. All you need to do is just set the threshold right, either using some ambient sound threshold setting or dynamic sound threshold setting, or just do it manually. If your environment is quite consistent as mine, you should be okay just by setting a fixed number for the energy threshold, and yeah, that should be fine. Now regarding the script, I just want to show you how it's easy to add an additional keyword. So as you can see now, the script is still running, but I'm not using Netflix anymore. So I'd like to add a command to actually kill the script, but I wouldn't need to do that manually. So if I want to kill it now, just here, and add an additional keyword. So elif kill user, then break, and that should do it. So if you run the script again, it should start recognizing my speech right about now. And if I would say I would like to kill this program, yeah, it kills the program and it stops. So that's how easy it is to add a new keyword. Just try to select keywords which are easy to say. I'm a bit mumbling from time to time, as you can hear in my videos. So yeah, that was quite an issue for me for some keywords, but then I settled down for those which are easy for me to say, and it works quite perfectly. So if you watched the video till this part, please click that like button, click the subscribe button, the bell's notifications button, and I hope to see you really soon. Bye.